y'all, welcome to the Crafty Diamond. I am Debbie. Today is my weekly WIP and chat. If you are not familiar with that, that is a work in progress. I am going to be working on a diamond painting and chatting a little bit about my week and about other diamond related projects I'm working on. So grab your WIP or whatever you want to do, or just listen and let's get started. Today I'm going to work on a paint gem set, and I'm working on the butterfly edition, and so I will probably finish this one and I may start on another one because I typically will talk and work for about an hour depending on what all I have to say. Since this is so small, I do like to put this on just a small little board here that I use sometimes to take notes on. But if you're not familiar with a paint gem, you simply will just take this off. And I do plan on doing this in one sitting, so I don't worry about covering it up. And then I am just going to go by color on this particular painting because it's so small for me that I don't go in sections. I will just do one color. I will probably miss a couple colors and have to go back, but that's okay. And I usually like to start with a darker color. So I'm going to go ahead and start with number 7. And I am using a Firefly tray today. I had gotten this one from the Great Lakes Escape last year. And I'm also using an Enabler's Outpost pin. And with my multi-placer, I am using some new putty that I had gotten in actually on Saturday of this week, or last week, I guess. And it is from a new shop. And I was asked to try out this sample, see if I liked it. And I used it quite a bit on Saturday. I used it on Sunday when I was diamond painting, and I really do like it. I like the smell. It's not overpowering. Mine is in coconut, and I just said I didn't care what the smell was. I just didn't want anything really strong, and so this is a very light scent. And again, it's a brand new company. The name of the owner for this putty is Joy, and she was just sending out samples to get some reviews before she decided to open up a shop. And so now she sent me a message about 1:30 this morning and said that she had gotten some really good reviews, and now she is opening up her shop. Her shop has gone live. I don't know what the name of her shop is. She has not said yet. So as soon as I hear back from her on the name of her shop, and I will get a link to her website, I'm assuming that she's going to be on Etsy, then I will put that information underneath the description. Hopefully I'll have that information before this goes live on Tuesday morning. But if not, as soon as I get it, then I will put it out there because I like to help out new shops, whenever I can. Any small shops, but especially some newer shops, so they can definitely start drumming up the business. And I also told her that she is more than welcome to include the information underneath my Crafty Diamond on my Facebook. So I will definitely have that information to you guys as soon as I get it. But that's what I'm using for my multi-placer, if I even multi-place. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not, but I do like the putty. These are so small. I do typically will just multi-place, but right now, since I am doing this with you guys and I kind of want to savor this, I mean, I can always go and get a second one because I do have more that I need to get done before the end of the month. But I thought this would be a perfect time to show you guys the Paint Gem Minis. And before we do get started any further, how is everybody doing? Hello, I hope that you are doing well. I hope you had a really nice weekend. I hope you've had a really nice start to your week. If you are watching this when it comes out, it will be Tuesday for you and Monday for me. Sometimes I will do these on Sundays, but with Sunday, yesterday being the Super Bowl, just decided that it really wasn't a good time to do it. My neighbor was also having a party on his back deck, and his back deck is across from our basement and my craft room. So he wasn't really loud or anything, but they had their TV up, which is kind of loud. And then I figured they would start, hollering and clapping and different things. And so I knew that he was going to have a party because he invited us to go over there, and we opted not to. He's really nice, but, he is younger than us, which that's no big deal. But I thought they're not going to want to have their friends over. Can't tell if that's a 7 or an A. That was a 7. No, it wasn't. It was an A. I need to look at that because that's the end. No, that's right. Okay. The way that I am doing this, I'm doing kind of sideways. But we thought, his friends may not feel comfortable with us there. And it was just super nice that, he did invite us, but I was just as happy being at home. It was supposed to rain, which it did. And so we were just as happy being at home as opposed to being somewhere else. And we ended up staying home. But that's one of the main reasons why I decided to wait until Monday morning. And I really just wasn't in the mood to do a WIP and chat, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just was relaxing on Sunday, and then I thought, I'm just going to wait until Monday morning. I do better when I film my videos in the morning than the afternoon. I am more of a morning person, which is really kind of funny because I don't like to get up early, but I do better work in the mornings. I kind of lay around and then I am fine. In the evenings, it's like I am tired, and late afternoons, by then it's like, okay, I've been doing a lot all day and I don't know, how upbeat I'm going to be or if I'm going to remember everything I want to tell you guys. So I just prefer to do my recordings in the morning. So that is exactly what I'm doing today. It is raining, it is stormy, it is cold, so hopefully we won't lose power, and even more so that it won't start thundering and lightning just horribly bad. Some of this I may have to scoot over. I can't see the far right. As small as this is, it is even more difficult to try to film this where you guys can see it if you want to look. I know most of you don't, that you just will diamond paint or do something else instead of just sitting here watching me, which that sounds kind of boring. My opinion, to watch me do this. But anyway, just in case, I may have to straighten some of this on the right side because it is further away from me than where I want it to be. But the way that I am set up to record, I have my film arm kind of in a strange place. Maybe I should have moved it, but I have it set up the way I want it for all of my other videos, and I hate to move it just for doing a Paint Gem Mini. The reason why I am doing a Paint Gem Mini, or one of the reasons, rather than doing a larger painting and one that I've been working on, is because I am still hosting the Paint Gem event, and it goes on until the 29th of February. And so I thought, here I am hosting this fun event. I'm seeing so many of you that are posting underneath my Facebook group and also in Instagram showing me your finishes. And I thought I hadn't even done one of these in front of you guys. I probably should. I do plan on having the butterfly edition finished and framed by the end of the month. That's the plan, and I'm on track to do that, so I don't have a problem with that. Should definitely be finished. So if I don't have anything done, at least I will have a Paint Gem mini finished. And I don't count my paint gems individually. I count my paint gems as a set. So I will count all of the ones that are in this butterfly edition as one finish. Because really, it doesn't take me very long to do these when I just sit down and do them. But I don't do an entire set at one time. I will just do a couple. If I want to just diamond paint, but I don't want to get everything out, I don't want to work on a section. And when I open up a section on my other diamond paintings, I want to finish the section in one sitting. I don't want to have to worry about the cover not staying on very well or having to worry about release paper or getting dirty. So I do try to get it done in one setting. And sometimes I don't have much time or I'm just too tired. And so I'll work on this at night and watch TV. Or sometimes if I'm at work and I am in between classes and I don't want to start on something that I can't finish, with such as grading or prepping or whatever, then I will just take one of my Paint Gem minis that I have at work and I'll work on one of those. And travel, it's really good if you're traveling to put this. You can just drop these in your bag really easily. Very easy to carry and take with you. I have done that, especially when we go to the mountains, because I know I'm not going to have a lot of space. I'm not going to have a lot of time, but I want to diamond paint something, and so I take my Paint Gem minis. So they do come in handy, very useful, even though they are small, and they are easy to frame if you want to frame them. Most of mine that I've done, I just put in a small binder. Perfect size for these that I purchased off of Amazon. But this one I am going to frame because I love butterflies. I mean, I have a butterfly tattoo and I just absolutely adore butterflies. So I will frame this one. I'm going to frame these and put them into my craft room. But I just have to get these finished first. So that's the plan for this particular set. If you would like to join us, the Google Doc link is underneath the description. Would love to have you. You're only required to complete 2 of the diamond paintings, the canvas, not the entire set. And you will be eligible for the grand prize, which there will be 3 grand prize winners. And that will be drawn after the end of the month. So this has to be in by the 29th of February, which sounds really funny, but the 29th of February. And then I will draw shortly after that. I just have to make sure that the winners meet the criteria. And then I will draw very early in March. But anyone is eligible for the weekly prizes as long as you have a start photo or you complete. You also have to complete the actual form. So very easy to join in. I'm also an affiliate with Paint Gem, so if you want to save a little bit of money, you want to use my code, then feel free to do so. It is all caps Debbie, and that's underneath the description. And it will save you a little bit of money. I might get a small commission, but I'm not doing it for that. I'm just wanting you guys to be able to save some money. So we had a really busy, productive week last week. And I am so grateful to all of my tribe. Everyone that I interact with, you guys, and all of my, friends and family and my neighbors. On Wednesday, my daughter was doing laundry, and then I was at work, and she was washing her uniform for work. She has to work on Fridays, and so when I got home, she said that she had just put her clothes in the dryer and that the dryer wouldn't come on. So I was like, okay, fine, no problem whatsoever. I'm sure that we just blew a fuse, or something, or she did not press something correctly. So I went in and she's like, no, Mom, it comes on, but it won't start. So I thought that's not good. So I went and looked at it. And so I told her, we're just going to have to wait until Dave comes home, get him to look at it and see what's going on. And I said, in the meantime, do not wash anything else, and let's just get your uniform, and we're going to go ahead and hang your uniform up in the event that we don't get it started, and it should be dry by Friday. If not, I can take it over to my next door neighbors and ask if we can use their dryer, or if, I may just have to go to the laundromat, which I did not want to do. But I thought, oh, it's going to be an easy fix, no problem. So my husband gets home, and then he thinks he's looking at the dryer, and he says a sensor light is what's coming on. So he goes and washes a full load of clothes after I told him that, I don't have any way of drying these. So he thought that the sensor meant that it wasn't sensing any wet clothes. And I had already told him that Paige had tried to put her uniform in there, and that's when she knew the dryer wouldn't work. And their uniform was wet. And so he said, I don't remember you telling me that. So now we have even more clothes that are soaking wet. And so he takes the dryer, takes it apart, and it is a front loading, which this is our first time we've had a front loader. He had a washer and dryer that was over 20 years old. We left it at our last house because I told him that this house had a newer washer and dryer. It was a front loader, and I really wanted one. And so we went ahead, left the old one there, and of course I had to listen to him. Well, if it was the old dryer, I would know how to fix it, and we wouldn't have all of these electronic problems. So of course, I had to listen to that for a minute. And then he's like, well, I'm just saying it's no big deal. But he was kind of rubbing it in, but I didn't say anything, just let go. So he kept looking at it, finally figured out what was wrong with it, and it needed some kind of a sensor fuse. So he called the place where we normally had gotten parts before from, and they said they did have it. And so he went after work, was going to pick it up, and they closed right at 5 o'clock. And he said, or 4:30, and he said, I don't know if I can get there by 4:30. I cannot get off work today until 4. I really need to get this. And is there any way that you can, he said, I'll just have to do something. Do you know where I can get one? And so the owner of the store said, well, we have a drop box, and you can go ahead and pay for it. And then we'll put it in a drop box. We'll give you the code, and you just come and get it out. And so my husband was like, well, that's really cool. So that's what he did. But this was on Wednesday, and he could not get there until Friday. So we had to wait a day, which was fine, but Paige had to work on Friday. And so I went over, I called my neighbor. I'm like, do you mind if I come over on Thursday and just dry a load of clothes, and, I can just leave it. I don't have to stay there. And so they're like, yeah, sure, not a problem whatsoever. And my husband's always helping them do things. So I went over there, Paige went with me, and we ended up staying over there. Our neighbor had a meeting and just said, just don't worry about it, and just, you can watch the TV, and the dog's downstairs, and you don't have to, worry about him. And so we just sat there, and instead of watching TV, because I didn't want to watch their TV, so I ended up taking some work over there and did that. Paige was with me for a very short time, and then she ended up leaving. I didn't think she would stay very long. So I did get my clothes dried and was very appreciative. I'm like, I don't know what I would have done because I would have had to have gone to the laundromat. And honestly, guys, I have not been to a laundromat. Oh my gosh, it's probably been 20 years since I've been to a laundromat. And didn't even know how much it really cost or anything. So, well, it hadn't been that long because I did have to go one time with Madison. Maybe about 15 years, but it's been close to it. So anyway, I knew where one was. I thought if I have to go there, I will. Don't exactly want to, but I'll go if I have to because I've got to get her clothes dried. I cannot have these clothes wet until Friday or possibly even Saturday because Friday night we had plans and I didn't think he would be home in time to work on the dryer. He didn't want to get, dirty or anything when we were going out. So anyway, that was our fun time on Friday, and at least that's all it was. The part was like $11. He was able to install it on Saturday with not any problems. But now, of course, I am behind on laundry because my husband had to go to work today and he needed to do laundry. So he did his laundry on Sunday. Paige did her laundry on Saturday. And so I guess my day is going to be today. So I'll be doing laundry all day long while I'm working. Good thing I'm working from home. But I was really thankful that I did have a neighbor who didn't mind, who trusted me in their house. I mean, they were downstairs, but they were actually on a call. They were too busy and didn't think anything about us being in their house, going up and down their stairs because their laundry was upstairs. So that was quite interesting. But it was done, and I'm glad that we didn't have to spend a fortune on a part because I just really did not want to do that. Thank goodness that wasn't the problem. So again, I was grateful for that. So very grateful week. And then I had some things going on at work. We ended up getting a small bonus, and so that was super nice. So I was grateful for that. And then Friday night, Paige had her night to shine. And that is, if you're not familiar with Night to Shine, it's a prom-like event that's for special needs. And it's for teenagers from age 14 up until adulthood. And there's not a cutoff. So there's just varied ages, but most of the ones that were there, even though, there were some adults, they were older, they all just got along so well. And that is their day. That is their day out of the entire year where they can be themselves, they can be comfortable, and it's a day to celebrate them. We've been going now, and I wasn't sure. I kept trying to figure out how long have we been doing this. This was our 8th year. It was the 10th year of the anniversary of Night to Shine that's sponsored by the Tim Tebow Foundation. And so our church is one of the host churches, and they've been doing it for 10 years. And it was by far this year the best that they've done. And they were also completely full. They actually had to turn away people that called to see if they could register for Night to Shine. I mean, it is free, but they can only have so many, and they ended up with 150. There were people everywhere. That was just 150 of the guests. And then each guest was allowed to bring 2 people, and 3 if they had a small, a child that they needed to bring with them. So it was packed, but it was so much fun. They also have different events going on. It's not just dancing. They have a sensory room. There are a lot of special needs that were there that have sensory issues. And so they had special places for them. They also had red carpet where the guest would go in and they could act however they wanted to on the red carpet. They didn't have to go on the red carpet. If they were sensory bound, they had another one that they would go on that they had people there, but they were just waving signs, not making any sounds. And so my daughter, we were waiting in line to check in, and my daughter's best friend comes barreling over to us, almost knocks me down. She's just a sweet girl, and we hadn't seen her in forever. And so that was the first thing that she did. She gave Paige a huge hug, and they were just so excited. And a lot of people knew Paige. I don't know how she does it, but everywhere we go, it's like people know Paige. We were in line, and about 5 people were telling, their kids, well, there's Paige. And even the parents knew her. And so that we had kids coming over constantly, and they were all hugging and dancing and just really, really excited to go in. Well, Paige's best friend, she said she was going in the sensory side because she just didn't like the other one. She has headphones, and she still didn't feel comfortable going in on the other side. Well, Paige always goes on the red carpet. And so I thought, well, if you want to go with your friend, that's fine. You're not going to like it as much, but you can do that. Well, we go in going to get her a buddy, and I could not remember for the life of me who her buddy's name was last year. And they all are assigned buddies unless you want to be your guest buddy. And we always have Paige teamed up with somebody else because we think she'll have more fun, and she needs to interact and do things with basically others that are younger. And last year she was with a 16-year-old, and I thought this girl was in college. I didn't realize that she was only 16. Super, super sweet. We go into the area where she needed to be hooked up with a buddy. And so her buddy from last year comes out, and they're both excited. And I said, did you ask for Paige? And she said, no. She said, we weren't allowed to do that. The buddies had to ask for us. And she said, just so happens, they said somebody needs a buddy. And I said, I'm available. And she went out there, and it was her. So Paige was all excited. Her buddy was excited. And Paige did not leave the dance floor for 2.5 hours. They took time out to eat. They had Chick-fil-A, and she loves Chick-fil-A. And so they took time out to eat, and that was about it. And then she danced the entire time. She was so tired. Her feet were killing her when she got home. She didn't go on a limo ride. She didn't go in the fire truck this year. She didn't even go on any of the games or karaoke or anything. And so her buddy said, yeah, she wanted to dance. And she said, that's exactly what we did. We just danced the entire time. I've shown her some moves, and she said we had the best time. So Paige was too busy, didn't take any pictures, but her buddy did. And so she's going to send us some photos. She said that she would do it over the weeks. We told her, don't worry about, doing it. She was going to stop what she was doing and do it Friday night. And we're like, don't worry about that. It's 9:30, you're tired, and you can just do it, whenever. So we're still getting a few in. I will show some as soon as I get, more in. I did ask her buddy if it was okay if I showed her on my channel. She said that was fine. And also on Facebook. I did post a picture of them walking the red carpet. Once I found her buddy, or her buddy found us, I guess, I asked, Paige didn't go on the red carpet. Can we go back out and let her do it? And so her buddy's like, yeah, and I'll go with her, and that'll be a lot of fun. So they went prancing and dancing up and down the red carpet. They had people yelling and, hooping and hollering for Paige. And then the announcer, there were two announcers, and they actually named every child or every young adult that went on the red carpet. They would name them, say something about them, and let them do their thing on the red carpet. So that was so much fun, and we were out there watching her, and we did get some pictures of that. But she had the absolute best time, and they had princesses that were dancing around, and she danced with several princesses. She danced with Alice from Alice in Wonderland, and the highlight of her night was to dance with Elsa and Anna from Frozen, because Anna is her absolute favorite. She just loves Anna. So they danced. They also did like a Congo, and then they did the Macarena. Paige knew that one. She had learned that from a couple years ago. So she was all about it. And they have the best DJ, and everybody that does this volunteers. They do not get payment from the church that's the host, from the foundation. They do this for these guests, for these special needs, and for us. So it was just a very, very magical night. The final song of the night was Frozen. They got Anna up there, who was lip syncing, and all the kids were dancing with her and around the stage. And then they have a crowning, and they did this different this year, which I really liked how they did this. But they decided that instead of just handing them a crown, they crowned them at the very end. And so all the mentors had their crowns, and the mentors would crown them. And then it was official that they were the king and the queens of the prom. Well, Paige got crowned, and then we had someone that came up to us and said, do you mind if she is recrowned? And I looked up, and it was our local news station, a local Atlanta news station that was out there filming. And so I'm like, I don't care. Do you care, Paige? And Paige is like, I don't care. And Paige was so excited, she didn't even realize that it was the news, even though we told her. So they took her crown off, and they put the crown back on, and she was on the local news at 10 o'clock, and then she was on all weekend. They gave us a link, so I sent the link out to friends and family, and she was just really excited, beside herself. I don't know how they decided to choose Paige. I don't know if they were just walking around and saw her, but they went right to her. And she just looked so pretty, and you could tell her eyes were glowing. And then whenever we saw her on TV, my husband was recording it. And so she was upstairs, and he called her and he's like, you need to come down here. And he's like, I want to show you something on TV. And so she saw herself, and she just started busting out laughing. She thought that was the coolest thing. So I'm like, yeah, now you've got your 10 seconds of fame. But she slept until noon on Saturday. She was just exhausted. At night to shine, my husband and I also had a catered dinner, which was really good, but it was so spicy. I couldn't hardly handle it because it was so spicy. It was almost too spicy for my husband, but it had a great flavor. Paige was dancing away. My husband and I played Kahoot, which is a phone app, and they have different questions, and there were 54 people playing. My husband and I just, we were a team. We just shared my phone, and so we played 4 games, and the 80s was one of the question sets. And so on that one, we came in, we were in first place, for about 3 questions, and we went from first to 30th in a matter of seconds. So I'm like, yeah, now we've gotten our 10 seconds of fame. It was a lot of fun though. I mean, we weren't doing it for prizes or anything. Normally, my husband always lucks out and they have a lot of prizes, different, gift certificates and things, door prizes, and he always wins something. Always. And neither one of us won anything this year, which that's not what we go for, but it was just kind of funny. And even one of our pastoral support that goes to our church that we're real good friends with, and he was actually hosting or emceeing, I guess, that section of the area where we were, and he's like, "Wow, they're not winning," and was pointing to us. And then somebody else spoke up. It should be somebody else's turn. And then everybody started laughing. We've gotten to know a lot of people through our special needs community, especially through our church. And Paige has gotten to know a lot of friends between church and then also just that she has gone to school with these kids. And so a lot of them now have gone their own way because they have all aged out. So it was really fun to see all of these people and to talk to them, and they're all excited, getting ready for next year. So we'll definitely be going again. They will do it again. They're not going to stop. But we had just a wonderful time. And then on Saturday, it's like it was supposed to be nasty and just stormy all day. And it wasn't on Saturday right after lunch. And so I told Paige, we need to go to the store because Monday's supposed to be really bad, Sunday's supposed to be even worse, and I didn't want to have to get out. So we went on Saturday, and we didn't think about it, but when we went, I'm like, oh, there's so many cars here. There's just so many people. There's not hardly any baskets, and there was not hardly anybody checking out in the checkout lanes, but the lines are long, but they don't have any checkers. They don't have a lot of the lines open. And then it hit me. There were balloons everywhere in the store. I mean, this was like it's a national chain that we go to. So there were balloons everywhere, and there were Valentine's balloons everywhere. And then there was also balloons for the Super Bowl everywhere. And so it hit me. I'm like, there are so many people here because they're getting all of their food for the Super Bowl on Sunday. And then also a lot of people are getting flowers for Valentine's. And I thought that is just great. But I guess it was better that we went on Saturday than to go on Sunday, because I bet Sunday was even worse. So then that reminded me, well, I need to get us some snacks for the big game. We are not big football fans. Even my husband's not. But we always watch the Super Bowl, mainly because we have special snacks that we like. And then also, we like to see all of the new commercials. And usually the commercials are really good, or some of them anyway. Out of the Super Bowl commercials, I think that we really like 2, which isn't very many in the grand scheme of things. There were some that were cute. There was a lot of A and B lister artists and actors that were on the commercials, and I thought, well, I'm surprised they're not any better than this, but they weren't. And then we go to bed around 9 o'clock on a school night, and so we were trying to figure out, we wanted to finish watching the game, and it was a very, very close game. And so my husband said, I've got to go to bed. I can't. We stayed up till about 9:45 and just decided, we're just going to have to go to bed. We'll record it if we want to. We already kind of figured out who was going to win. We were right. And so I don't know if there was any better commercials that came on after we quit watching. I did not see an M&M's commercial, and normally M&M's has the really good ones. So I don't know if M&M's came out with one. I'm gonna kind of fast forward and see on the game. But it sounded like it was a nail biter when it went into overtime. And then this morning, my husband gets up at 5 o'clock. Well, because it was storming so bad, and it started storming really bad in the middle of the night, my husband got up earlier because he didn't want to get into a bunch of traffic going in, because he has to go past downtown Atlanta to go to work. And he knew it was going to be horrible. He works kind of close to the airport, and so he knew if he didn't leave early, he was going to get into a mess. And so he went ahead and left. So I don't really know. I didn't really talk to him before he left. I just told him bye, and then I went back to bed for a little bit. So I'm not sure about the commercials, what commercials we missed, but I'll find out, because we'll look again tonight when he gets home just to see. And Usher was the halftime performer, and I honestly didn't know. I only knew one or two Usher songs. I just didn't remember any of the songs. And then I didn't know anybody that was with him except for Alicia Keys. Knew her. But then I found out who the other person was. My husband was asking me, and I'm like, I have no idea. So then we asked Madison, and she told us. I'm like, I feel really old when I'm trying to watch Super Bowl and don't even know who these people are. But anyway, we did not stay up. I know a lot of people probably did. A lot of people probably partied. I have some friends that are die-hard 49er fans, and I'm sure that they were not too happy because their team didn't win. But I figured, even if your team doesn't win, your team is there. Only two teams can win. Only two teams can go. Only one can win, obviously. So I feel for anybody that is miserable or upset because their team didn't win, or they didn't like the actions of a teammate, or whatever, because there were some things that I saw that had happened, and a lot of people were talking about it this morning on social media. But yeah, we just watch it for the commercials. We do like to see halftime just to see what's going on with it, and then we like our snacks. So if you watch the Super Bowl, do you have like particular food or snacks that you like to eat just for Super Bowl? And we were laughing because my husband's like, when did we last have this? I made just some little appetizers and some finger foods and things. And I'm like, well, we had it last year. Oh, about this same time last year. It's the only time I ever make some of this. And so he's like, we need to start having some of these snacks throughout the year more than just once for the Super Bowl. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess that we do, but that's just like our Super Bowl fix. And it's kind of fun to have a tradition that you only eat certain things at certain times, it just kind of happened that way. It's not like that we refuse to eat certain things, except for a specific time in the year. It just happens. That's when we do it. So I thought that was kind of funny. Even Paige said something. She's like, I just love Super Bowl, and she doesn't watch. She probably didn't even know who was playing, and I said, well, why do you like Super Bowl so much? What do you like about it? Because you don't ever watch it. I'm here for the snacks. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. So that was fun. So we had a very busy week, very productive week at work, very productive week for diamond painting. I have finished 3 more of my butterflies for this set, and I am going to show you guys once I finish the entire set. I'm also I'll kit it down, and I'm going to frame it with you guys. So that will not be until, of course, I get it finished. Probably won't be until the end of the month, or probably in March, because I'm trying to keep this set to where it's going to last me for the full event. Now, I did unbox the Safari edition. I am kitting that one up. The video will come out on Thursday for the kit up of that, but I don't want to start working on another one until I finish this one. So I'm just going to work on one at a time, and I do want to go ahead and do the Safari next, especially since I've already opened it. But I didn't think I would be able to get two finished in February. The event has been very busy, which I love. I am really, really surprised at how many people are in the event. I am surprised. I am very grateful to the community for all the shout outs that I am getting, that Paint Gym is getting, that all the sponsors are getting. I will put the sponsors link below as well. So if there's something that you need or that you want, check out some of our sponsors and see, because they are all amazing, and I'm grateful for our sponsors. So it has just been a week of gratitude, you guys. My channel is creeping up to 2,500. I don't know how long that's going to take. I'm almost at 2,300 subscribers, so that to me is just amazing. And I have 3 members of my channel. I did have a live Zoom meeting that we did on Friday with my members, and had a wonderful time meeting and getting to talk to Deborah. If you would like to have a live meeting with us too, then you can join and become a member for a nominal fee, and then I will have a live link. We'll have it set up. It's so much fun to get to know people and get to actually talk to them. They can talk to me. It's not just like one-sided, which it's not to me one-sided on my channel, because I do get to read the comments, but it's so nice to actually converse with someone and you're actually talking to them live. And so that's a lot of fun. And I'm debating, do I want to try to start doing lives on my channel? I don't know if anybody would show up. I don't even know how I feel about that. I think it would be fun, but I'm not exactly sure if I am up to something like that. But I may wait until end of spring, early summer, especially when I have more time. I'll be working from home more in the summer, and I can schedule some better times. I am close to finishing, I guess close is relative, to finishing my Josephine wall, my massive project I've been working on since last March. And I have a 40 by 35 or so centimeters left to do on that canvas. I got a lot done this weekend. I decided, instead of going back and forth, I was working on I have 2 canvases that I was actually working on besides that one, and the main one that I was working on, and you guys have seen it, is from Bella Art Diamonds. I am getting closer to finishing that one, the Carousel Pony. Well, I'm about halfway, I guess. I was hoping to get it finished by the end of this month, but then I started thinking, would it be better to just focus on this diamond painting Deutschland, get it out of the way, and then work on my diamond paintings in March, get as many as I can done before the Josephine Wall starts again in April? Or do I put this one up for Josephine Wall that I'm working on, put it up and work on it in April for the event, because we're not requiring a new start, but I want a new start. I want to work on another diamond painting Deutschland that I have, and I want to get that one kitted up. I also have the one with the diamond art I want to work on, but that one's not going to be my primary focus. I might do a section or two a week, but it's not going to be something that I spend a lot of time on as much as I do on my diamond painting Deutschland. So I'm not sure, but then this weekend I just kept working and working, and I was really motivated to work on that diamond painting Deutschland, and I thought, you know, I'm in the mood for this. It's actually going pretty quickly, and I knew where all the colors were because I had been working on it for so long, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and get that one finished, and then I can get back to my other one. And the ones I'm working on are going to be really large for a while, so I may not get as many done as I had planned for the year, and that's okay. As long as I am getting my WIPs out of the way, then I am truly happy with that. I do have another unboxing that you may have already seen it. It came out today, Monday. If you haven't seen that one, go check it out. It is a unboxing of a kit that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I need another round because I'm almost finished with the round that I am working on upstairs on my lap easel. And I do better for some reason, I don't know why, I do better on that lap easel using a round kit rather than a square. It's taken me a while to figure that one out, but I finally did it. And so I am going to be needing to do one soon. So I thought, I need to pick something that's round. I went through my stash of all my rounds and decided now which one is calling to me, and it may or may not, work for any events or anything that's coming up. I am not going to be working on events as much this year, participating, because I want to be able to work on some of the ones I've already started. Now, if I have some that will work, then I will definitely participate. So for instance, I have several that are in my WIP rotation that I could do for Mermaids and Magic. And I am probably going to do that. So I will, but that depends. I need to get my carousel pony done. So if I get the carousel pony done in time, then I can do something for Mermaids and Magic. But if not, then I will not be able to participate. Unfortunately, I have been doing that one for 2 years, so I kind of hate not to participate, but I'm not doing a new start. I'm not ready for a new start except for upstairs, and I don't have anything that will work for Mermaids and Magic that's around that will work for upstairs, because I don't want anything really large. If I can find something that's not large, that's around, then that would be perfect. But right now, I'm going to kit up the one that I unboxed today on my channel. This butterfly is turning out really pretty. I was going to bling these up and I did not so far, but doesn't mean I may not bling up a couple of the other ones. More than likely I won't, just because I want to get these done. I think they're pretty without it. They're gorgeous with it blinged. I've seen several people bling the butterfly ones up. I had to stop for a few minutes and then realized that I have been talking almost an hour, and that's about where I tend to end. Don't want to go over an hour, and went ahead and finished this butterfly just to show you guys that what it looks like and how pretty that it is. And also I have gotten 3 other butterflies I have done that I thought are really pretty too. So that's what we worked on together today. And then I have this one. And the set does say the name of all these butterflies. I don't know what they are without the name on there. It does have numbers on here. And so I can go through and look and see, and I will do that whenever I go to frame them, so at least I'll know what the names are. But right now I have no idea. So these are going to be gorgeous when they are next to each other, which that's how my frames are. So that's what they look like. I hope that if you had plans on getting something done today, you were able to get what you wanted to, and that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click on the like button. Also, I will include information under the description on paint gems, on some of my other videos where you can watch those as well. And then also I will put underneath the sponsors for our paint gem event. You are not required by any means to be a part of the event in order to be on my Facebook group. That is just where I am hosting this event to make it easier on me and not to have a third Facebook. Didn't want to go that route. Hope you enjoyed today, and until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.